Lyle was jamming out. There you go. That's all you got to know. Welcome into the Back to 12 podcast. I'm RC Maxfield alongside the man, the myth, the legend. You see him all over Jones AT&T Stadium, even though he thinks it's somebody else. It's obviously this guy. His name is Lyle Leong Jr. Don't be spitting on your camera, bro. We got to do the whole podcast. Don't ruin it. How you doing, man?
Oh man, I'm blessed to be in your presence, man. You always make me feel good inside, man. But anytime I get to do another episode, man, it's a good day. Still got football going on. Basketball is about to get started, man. It's the
Tonight,
best time. Tonight's first game, best
let's
night,
go.
man. Get to watch a little bit of everything and do a little everything. So, man, it's probably my favorite time of the year. Getting to do for me. I know y'all think I love football, and I do, but I also love basketball. So getting to see both, although I think the NBA sucks for the first 15 games, and so does college basketball. But at least we get to watch it, and it's back on. So I'm excited to see what's going on and who's going to do what, man, and still get to finish off this football season, man.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Tech's got a lot to play for on Saturday, obviously, in Lawrence. If you want to go listen to the preview of the game, previous video here on the channel. But on this video, a lot of people have been asking for some film breakdowns, hearing Lyle's thoughts. We're going to do just that today. We're going to break down QB1 for the Red Raiders and his performance against TCU. What kind of stood out? Going to ask Lyle about something that stood out to me, rewatching the film a couple times for Texas Tech offensively, and one set that Zach Kittley just kept going back to over and over and over again. And now, I want to be clear, it didn't work every time, but it worked a lot. And it got Texas Tech set up. And I want to ask Lyle why Zach Kittley went to that. We'll discuss that. And then also talk about Tahj Brooks a little bit and how he could have a huge weekend up in Lawrence as the Kansas Jayhawks have allowed 220 yards rushing on average to teams over their last 5 Big 12 games. But before we do that, be sure to like the video, hit that subscribe button, and while you're at it, you might as well hit the notification bell to stay in the know on Texas Tech football, men's basketball, and everything in between all year long. We're the only podcast with a guy that's going to break down the game like Lyle. I can tell you that much. A guy that's been on the field, does it professionally as well. There's not much better guys to listen to when it comes to that. And I like to think I have good hair, so I bring that to the table as well here on the podcast. So let's jump right into this, Lyle, because for me, man, this was one of the more interesting games from a scheme standpoint when it comes to Zach Kittley, because I think there was a lot to prove, right? You got to lay the foundation, and we'll jump right into it here in a second. You had to win this game, right? You had to, or else you weren't going to a bowl game more than likely. Now, we talked about it before we hit the record button here on the podcast. It helps when you have Behren Morton back there, right? Like Behren Morton hides a lot of flaws for guys. But let's jump right into the film breakdown, Lyle, because this is interesting to me. And this was the point that really stood out, man. And that was trips. We talked about it before we got on here. They ran trips quite a bit. And I want to run this play, and not every play, gave them 15, 20 yards. But it was interesting to see how often they used trips. And this was the first time that they actually used it in this game. You can see where it's at, 2nd and 1, 9 minutes and 49 seconds left. Press the play button here. And again, it's a simple little run. You get 2 yards out of it, tops kind of deal right there, Lyle. But it felt like Kittley was setting it up. And you see it again here. Why do you think Kittley went to trips so much in this game for Texas Tech?
I think he kind of liked the alignment he was getting on that first play that you played. Got a 6-man box. And you had the overhang coming on the back. You had a 5-man box, and then you had a guy coming off the edge, which we call overhangs. If you go back to that first play for me, RC, and I'll kind of.
Yep, gotcha. Bear with us on this. There we go.
All right, pause it for me.
I got you.
Let me go back.
Yeah, let me go back real quick for you.
I know it's moving quick.
Yep. Here we go. Try and pause it right there. There we go.
Okay, pause right there. So right there, I think he likes trips. This is my opinion, people. So Don't come for my head. I know how y'all do sometimes. Just in my opinion, I think that what he liked, he got this man coverage out of trips. It looks like, and looking at the next clip, we're gonna get man coverage. So you got your 1-on-1 up top, you got your 3-on-3, and cover one means there's one high safety, so he's over the top, kind of gauging there. And a lot of times, what teams will do is to the field side, they like to bring pressure. And so right here, a 2nd and 1, 5-man box, just like we tell our quarterbacks, you check the box, and that's from tackle to tackle. When you check that box right now, it's 5 people in the box. Okay, you got that overhang, which is that guy up top that's going to eventually come off the edge right there. Yep, and so you don't really count him on the box. If he's coming in, I think Kittley had somebody up there watching him. If that guy comes in the box and you got 1-on-1, a guy with 7 yards off on 2nd and 1, you could throw a stop, an out, slant, anything you want to throw. But I think in this case, he likes it. Trips is going to give us that cover one look with the 5 to 6 man box. And that 6 man is just the guy that Kittley's got to play with and figure out what he's going to do. I think in this case, knowing that it's 2nd and 1, he's going to assume that guy is coming off the edge. And like I said, I think it's a quarterback can read that as well. If he sees him coming off the edge, what I imagine here in this case, he's reading that outside backer. If that guy comes off the edge, he could throw it out. He could throw a stop, whatever Kittley has tagged to it. He could throw that. So I think that's what he liked. Even down here with the screen going fast, when you go fast, it's not allowing them to get set fast. But he also knows up top that it's man coverage. So like I said, if they're not set, the screen's good. If they are set, it's not really good because you got 3 guys and 3 receivers. So if you throw a screen out there, there's no one to block that third person. Sure. So that's what's going through his mind. And how this running back's aligned. Usually you want to throw away from the running back. It's not a lock thing that you have to, but a lot of times they're looking away from the running back. And that's why the running back is away from the single so that he can gauge that overhang backer right here. So I think right here, B. Mort sees 5-man box. Okay, doesn't think that overhang is a threat.
And you're right, he comes downhill.
They're run away from that overhang because if they run it to the top, that overhang is going to come make that play. He wants to run away from that overhang up top because down here there's 5-man box. He's pulling 2 guys, which does 5-on-5. It's man coverage. So these guys down here are covering these receivers, or these receivers can block them, and you got your numbers 5-on-5. So really he's just looking at that overhang. Where is that overhang? And it's looking like when he does trips, they put that overhang to that field.
You go. It doesn't get a huge chunk play, but you get the first down, right? Mm-hmm. Next play, you're running trips again. This is the high side. I wanted to ask you this, though, from a coaching perspective. I noticed, and we'll talk about this as the video progresses, too, in terms of this film breakdown. Is it a conscious decision by Kittley to run trips to the wide side of the field? Or do you think it's just, hey, we're going to take what the defense gives us at that point? Or is he running it to the wide side of the field at all times? Is it one of those things as a coach, like, hey, I'm never running trips to the short side? Like, is that like a cardinal sin? How do you view that as a coach?
I think he's just seeing what they give him and making sure what they give him is what he sees. Because like a lot of times, like I said, you may think that they're doing something, you study, and they may do it all year, and they may come out and say, nah, we're not doing this because that's what they think we're going to do. Like I said, at the end of the day, people got to understand it's a guessing game. I'm going to try to do something that I do that may be a little different, a little wrinkle as a defense. They're going to try to do something that's a little different, that's a little wrinkle, but they got to stay with what they do, because if you try to change it, it's a no-go, and I know that from a fact. That's why Mike Leach will never change the mesh, never do, because it changes things, And I think in this situation, when he runs trips to the field, earlier we had that overhang, you know what I'm saying, out there. When he runs it to the field, in my opinion, it puts 6 people in the box. So now when we did it on the other side down here to the short field, it was 5 people in the box, and they had an overhang to that field. Yes. Now that we did it, it's the same thing. So we know out of trips, I think Kittley knows I'm going to get cover 1. Down here, obviously they fear this who is this? Bradley down here? Or who is that?
Right here at the bottom of the screen?
Yeah.
Coy Aiken. So I believe it goes, if we're going from the top of the screen, wide receiver wise, we've got Bradley. Miles is there with his mouthpiece out right here. This looks like Loic or Xavier White. Can't really tell too well right there. And then this is Coy Aiken with Tahj in the backfield. And you can see there's 6 in the box. Sorry, just wanted to lay that out.
No, you're good. So I think with Coy, obviously Coy got some respect when we did trips on that first play. That safety wasn't cheated over, but now that we got Coy down here, obviously they feel like he needs some help, so they got that safety cheated way over. So I think it comes down to Kittley on what he wants to do. Does he want to overhang and a 5-man box, or does he want a 6-man box with the safety helping over that single side to the field? So I think it's a preference of what he wants to do here. But I think the major difference is your box. When you go trips to that boundary, you got a 5-man box. When you go trips to the field, you got a 6-man box. So, and I think it's just what he wants to do, where he's running. If I'm in this case, I would run towards the trips because they have that extra backer down here towards the bottom. That's the overhang that they put into the box to try to stop the run. So, and even here, you're throwing a screen out here, you got your numbers. Anything out this direction, you got numbers. But in the box right now, you got 6 defenders, 5 offensive defenders, singled up down here with the safety cheating, and you got 3-on-3 out there. So I think it's just his preference on what he wants to do when he's doing that. But I think that's the major difference is just your box.
Gotcha.
6 and 5.
Let's play this play real quick. And it's a fake. Nope. So we back up just a little bit, right? It's everything you just talked about, where there's a hat for a hat in here in terms of Tahj, right? Because there's 6 guys in the box, there's 5 linemen, simple basic math, right? So in order for Tahj to get something there, he's going to have to make a guy miss, at least in theory. But again, this comes back to Behren Morton. Look at the read he makes here on the backer that Lyle was talking about coming downhill. Pause, and then look at this. You can see the guy right here. He's clustered up. What is he going to do? Right? Like, how is he going to impact the play? This guy right here. He's really not going to be able to unless he gets through a wall of Texas Tech offensive linemen. You got a guy pulling right here from the right side, coming up and trying to get this other backer. Now, he whiffs, but he takes priority in terms of a guy that got already beat, right? And then Tahj makes that guy miss, gets upfield. Obviously, Tahj does what Tahj does and somehow stays on his feet right here, right? And so, again, I think it's the little things with Behren Morton here that really change things, right? Like this is a play where, in my opinion, if you have a guy like Jake Strong in there, Lyle, he might try to force something passing wise because of what you just talked about at the top of the screen, right? Because there's a hat for a hat. Does he try to force the screen up there instead of giving it to the best player? Behren Morton sees that, and you can even kind of tell in the film as well. The backer right there, I can't really tell what number he is, but right here, if you can see the mouse, he's leaning left a little bit, right? And we can tell that this guy off the edge over by Caleb Rogers, all right, that's a guy you're going to have to be aware of as well. But he's leaning left a little bit just in case he's got to go out here and help on a screen. Behren sees that, gives it to Tahj, and, well, we saw what Tahj did after that. So it's one of those things that really stands us best. Again, look at what we have here. We've got trips. And Lyle, set this play up for us here. As you can see, again, in the box right there, 5, and they're not playing single high anymore. There's 4 guys on the trip side of the field now with the safety, so that changes things up, right? You still got 5 in the box, so a hat for a hat when it comes to the offensive line, but there's a difference here for Texas Tech. They have a tight end as well, so technically they have more hats. Lyle, what do you see on this play right here?
Yeah, and just to go back on that last play, that's what I try to explain to people. And you ain't got to go back, RC, but just to explain, man, it comes down to this. Jimmy's and Joe's. I can't tell y'all that enough. Have to make plays. And in that situation, he made one of the best linebackers in the Big 12 miss, and that's how we got the first down. But really, he was unblocked because we don't have enough to block him. And he made him a miss, and that's the difference. The teams that are really good got players that make plays like that, in that situation. But here, same thing you were talking about, man. Trips, I think they kind of got him out that man. I think gashing him made him get out the man. I think we're in a zone here. If I was a guessing man, I'd probably say cover 2 maybe down here in this red zone. Cover 2 with this guy coming down. And like I said, they don't do a good job. I think Kit took a great job of taking advantage of them not getting set fast. They did not do a good job of getting set the whole time. As you can see, you got that safety communicating to the other safety. You got my man walking. You got people standing up. Like, they aren't getting adjusted and lined up, and that's the hard part about switching formation with those guys. Every time the defense is trying to do what the offense does, and whereas the offense they set up, they do what they want to. Defense has to match what the offense is doing. So that's the purpose of going fast. That's the purpose of going fast and trying to get them confused. So go a little more, RC, so I can see them get set. They probably never do, but
gotta have technical difficulties with it. There we go.
Pause it. All right, going right there. Okay, the thought process of the quarterback is to see who motions with them. That's what motion is for. Do they run with them? Do they bump with them? And in this case, he obviously knows from the get-go there's no one covering that second receiver. He knows it's not man, so no one's coming with that. So then we get our numbers, right? Okay, we got six. We got six in the 6 blockers. They got 5 in the box. Sending that receiver over there now picks up that cornerback, and we get a true six-man box over 5 blockers because we have that guy up there being blocked that has that count for this receiver. If he doesn't do that, that man is the falling guy. That cornerback is the falling guy. So technically, you got a 5 shell, you got an overhang at the bottom, and then you have an overhang at the top without sending that. So I think that guy does a great job of when he goes over there, it takes out that cornerback, which makes it a true 5-man box. And like I said, the only one you can't account for right here is this outside linebacker to the field side. So I'm sure Kittley got an out or a bubble or something that is tagged with that to control that guy. That's the guy you have to control, because if you don't, and he comes in there to try to make that tackle, that he'll account for 6 people if he doesn't come in there. If you have him on that island, like I said, he's close to the line. So to me, it looks like he's coming. I think a bubble tag with that, an out tag with that would be good. It's cover 2. So probably not an out tag, but I like stops. I like bubble. I like fast, and that's like the screen to the outside receiver. But I think motion over there makes it a true 5-man box. Whereas if you keep this guy out here, you have no one to block that cornerback if you happen to bounce it out there. I know we got 6, and technically the tight end could get out there. Technically he could, and make it 6-on-6. But like I said, I think it gives you the motion gives you a blocker advantage. You know what I'm saying? And the only dude that B. Mortz is looking at is this outside backer to the field. And that's why the running back is to the left side, in my opinion, because Kit knew once he motioned them down, or it may be inside the 20, inside the red zone for them, that they're going to bring pressure from that backer. I don't know if he saw him film like this is the backer that they do every time, or if he knew to the field they're going to bring that outside backer. Whatever the case is, he knew that guy motioning would make him come down, or that guy would already be down in order to read it.
So real quick, you talk about the backer, and again, make sure you can see my cursor right there. You're talking about this guy right here, correct?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that that's why he has Baylor Cup out here too? Because again, I think a lot of Tech fans know what play's coming here. But you look at that, you have this guy going in motion. And this was something that really stood out to me because, again, you're absolutely right. The reason he sends this guy is just another tell for the quarterback in the sense of, hey, is it man or is it zone? It's really that simple. But also, it kind of helps you get another hat to the side of the field you're going to in this situation, right? And so we'll play the play real quick. You get JJ going up. Tahj gets the ball, or Cameron gets the ball, excuse me, and you get a solid gain there. 3rd and 5, you get it down there. But again, reason we're doing this film breakdown right now is I noticed rewatching film, Texas Tech used a ton, and I mean a ton of trips. Not here on this play.
Hold on, RC, can you go back to that 1-2, the play before B. Mort scored?
Yeah. Let me just stop it when JJ goes in motion.
No. I'll tell you when. Now, I mean, technically, like I said, man, when players may play, B. Mort could have pulled that and scored a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? So I think in that case, is it a good play? Did he hand it off? Was it good? Was the box good? Yeah, it was good. But I still think too, B. Mort, you know what I'm saying? Could have pulled that and also.
Oh, you're saying down here to the wide side of the field because it's a hat for a hat, and the only option you have coming to get you is that safety, huh?
Yep, that's the guy he's reading, number 4. Okay, and he rides it so long that he rides it so long that he kind of holds him with that ride because he
Yeah.
rides him a long time. But I think too, knowing that he's on the edge, like like I tell my quarterbacks, if somebody's on the edge like that, 90% of the time they're coming. And so I think he could have pulled it and also ran down here. He would have had to beat the safety, and that's it. So like I said, it comes down to, and the only reason I want to go over this because we talk about this in games, and this is the option stuff that I try to explain. There's a lot of stuff that, if the quarterback reads it, he can. Like I said, I truly think if he pulls it and these two block, he scores a touchdown. That's my opinion. But that's a lot of things that people don't understand. There's always something that the quarterback can do. Now, did it work? Yeah. Did Tahj make it work? Yes. But he had the option to pull, and it was there. And I think that's why he motioned him. I think, it made that guy come up to the ball. I think Kittley knew that. But at the end of the day, B. Mort got to see that as well and pull it if he believes that. And like I said, he's not wrong in this case. But you got to understand, like, people got to understand the choices that every play the quarterback has a choice, and I think Kit simplified it because there's some where there's a pass play out here. So there's some where he can hand off the ball, he could pull it, and he could throw a pass route. That's a lot. Like Kit got it to where you're just reading one man in this play. And like I said, I've been a part of offices where they're like, hey, hand it if he reads, which means he stays. Pull it if he goes down that line, which I kind of think he does. Throw it if they're, and for a quarterback in 2 seconds, that's a lot to think what's going on, and granted it's pre-read stuff. So like I said, if I got bubble called, I'm throwing bubble because that guy's coming off the edge. But I think right there is a sell time that he's going down the line. That's what you teach. It's called a book in and a spill in. If they're spilling, that means he's coming straight down the line. I feel like he's coming straight down the line. You teach your quarterbacks to pull. You got the numbers out there. He probably could have walked in the end zone. So I just want to explain.
Too.
Yeah, he got.
They're all leaning left, and again, I think too. I think there wasn't a wrong decision here because it worked out right. In terms of if TCU doesn't make a good arm tackle and trip up Cameron, he's in the end zone anyway too, right? But they ended up getting the touchdown. But you have to wonder too in these situations, just because of Texas Tech and what they've gone through health-wise from the quarterback position, are they being a little bit smarter in terms of, hey, we're not going to have as many of these, right? In terms of this situation, it's a strict handoff regardless. Obviously, you can check out of it if you want, Behren. But then we're going to save you for the actual power option, QB power option for the next play, right? You have to wonder on that front. But again, I like the thought process. It's crazy to say. Who would have thought offense is a little bit easier to run when you have your starting quarterback? Play is like it is. He gets it out quick. You got two guys in front of you. Great blocking here by Jordan Brown, number 4, getting his hips square to the guy that he's trying to defend. But the nice thing is here too, Lyle, and you would know much better than me, and I'd love to hear your opinion. It seems like Brown does a phenomenal job of leaving enough space for Bradley to go both inside or outside on this, right? But obviously he's going to go outside because, well, defenders can't run through defenders. Right? Like it's like trying to run through a wall. And that's exactly what Jordan Brown creates here. And I'll run it again for you real quick so you can see it once again.
No, you're right on. You might need to be an OC, RC.
Hey, man, I'm trying. Right. Madden taught me well.
Hey, you're doing it right.
And then again, great pump fake here too. Like the other thing that I really noticed in this game, not pump fake, sorry, RPO action here. They really used it. And look at everybody right now in the box right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All of them are looking at Tahj Brooks. Everybody is looking at Tahj Brooks right now. Like, that's it. And if that's the case, you have to have one of these two guys up here. And this guy ain't doing it. The linebacker sure as hell ain't getting outside. So this safety is going to have to come down. And it looks like it's a cover 2 look right here with man-to-man on the outside. He's streaking downfield, and by that time with Behren Morton's arm strength and the block that Jordan Brown sets up, I mean, you got no chance. At least it's going to be 5 yards right there for Texas Tech.
Yeah, like I said, man, going back, you just look at that box. Go back a tab for me, RC.
Yeah, we'll play it. It'll play.
Yeah, I know. No, I know. I was messing with it earlier. I couldn't do it, so you're doing a phenomenal job, my brother.
I'm trying my best.
So right here, like I said, we talk about it. 5 people in the box. You got that overhang that you're reading. That's all he's reading. If that overhang comes down, you throw the bubble. If he stays out there, you hand it off. You got your 5-on-5. You got your overhang playing a little deep on this field side down here, right there. Yes, sir. And that's, if you got your one-on-ones, if he's in the box, I'm telling my quarterback, hey, you got your one-on-ones out here. Right here in this situation, I kind of don't like it because it's a 2-on-1 look in this case. Up top, you kind of got the 3-on-2 look. As of now, you got a 5-man box. So that's all he's reading is that overhang. Is that simple? Does that guy come in to make the tackle, or does he stay out and play coverage? You play it. Obviously, B. Mort sees that man come in the box to make tackle. He throws the bubble, and really it's 2 for 2. So, I mean, it comes down to whose player makes a play like we did. Is the receiver going to block? Receiver gets a block. And then he makes the safety miss. So, once again, people, the only reason I just wanted to slow it down and say this, I can't tell y'all this. Players have to make plays. Players have to make plays. It's the only difference. My man blocked out here. Everybody in America runs this play. They block for my man. Safety takes a bad angle. Then he breaks off the 2 tackles and goes.
I'm not giving the right person credit. I said that was Jordan Brown. That's actually Miles Price. So good for Miles Price on that block right there. Again, is that like one of those things let me back it up just a little bit for you, Lyle. Looking at this, look at the spacing that Miles Price allows Jerron Bradley to have on the sideline. Like, obviously it's optimal, but how often is that like talked about, if at all, for wide receivers? Like, hey, on these passes, try and stay on the numbers or at least close to them so there's space inside and out for the wide receivers.
Air raid practice? Oh, you gonna block, brother. We have whole periods for this that I have nightmares about to this day. Oh, you gonna do this drill, brother. And like I said, you're gonna do it a million times. So, like I said, it's practice. It's talked about. If you can't block, you can't play. Like you do this drill every day. Like I said, I didn't sleep because there's nights, when I was there, we had 220-pound safeties, 215-pound safety drills. Everybody talks about. It's huge, man. So it's huge.
Here we go. On 2nd and 1, Xavier White goes in motion. Again, this play, you got what? 6 guys on the line with the tight end. Xavier White moving in motion. Everybody within, 8 yards of the line of scrimmage for TCU? Am I doing my math right there, Lyle?
No, you're right. I would say for my quarterbacks, I'd say 6 people in the box.
Okay.
That's what I'd say.
So for you, when they're this close to the line of scrimmage, talking about the safeties here, right? They're not categorized in the box for you at this point?
No.
Okay.
No.
Just for people to understand kind of deal. Because I think a lot of people would look at this and be like, oh my God, they're basically right on top of the linebackers. They have to be in the box, right? But
right.
I mean, how I think about it, and correct me if I'm wrong, is I just think of the box as like guys within the shoulder width of the furthest defensive end on one side, the other defensive end, and then basically where the middle linebacker is depth-wise. Like that's kind of the box.
Yeah. That's what I say about 5 yards. If anybody's past 5 yards, they're not, unless it's Ed Reed, there's not people running from 10 yards back making plays like that, They're second level.
Hall of Fame safeties,
Yeah.
Run this play, Xavier White. This play just doesn't work, but he made something out of nothing. And he got 6 yards. And again, it goes back to what you talk about all the time here on the podcast. Like, sometimes, Kittley didn't draw it up like this. Simple and plain. But Behren Morton makes something happen. You move up. It's 3rd and 7. What do we have again, Lyle? Say it with me. Trips. Trips.
Mm-hmm.
God, I love a good trips play. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at the situation here, Lyle, you see the play, how it is. It's minute 30 left in the first. That really doesn't matter. But it's 3rd and 7. All right.
Mm-hmm.
You're 2 for 4 so far on 3rd downs. What are you analyzing if you're Behren Morton right here, Lyle, to set up potentially a successful play?
Like I tell my quarterback, start how many people's in the box. If you're looking at it, 6 people in the box. Obviously, that man on the end's coming. Sometimes they bluff it, but a lot of times he's coming. He's bringing that pressure. 3rd and 7. I'm probably thinking I'm getting a 4-man rush, and then we're going to drop back in that protection. Obviously, it looks like to me they're in cover 4. It looks like they may be in cover 6. He may be coming down to play cover 2 and over the top doing cover 6, which is for people at home, 2 to the boundary, 4 to the field. I'm not quite sure what's I didn't, I'm sure Kittley watched film and knew what they were doing, but if I'm guessing, I'm gonna guess we're getting a 7-man drop, 4-man pressure, and so it's just going through your progressions after that. I don't know, just for instance, if this outside guy is running a post, that's his first read. Whatever kit, I don't know what kit goes through, but just going through their reads and then whoever, if it's a post in a corner, you're looking at the post first, and you're looking at the corner, then you're looking at a little arrow route or something in the flats to try to get through, and you're just reading it, going through your progressions. But coverage wise, I'm thinking 4-6, 4-man coverage. Before the snap, you see your buddy get back up. So now what I'm thinking is, hey, we got a 8-man drop, 3-man pressure. So go through your reads, be smart, be looking for the check down because they got so many people. All right, motioning. We see if anybody moves or if anybody bumps. No one moves. He bumps a little bit, that outside backer, but not really.
I will say this is one of the plays that grinded my gears, and not from the Behren Morton side of it, right? So go back, listen, 3rd and 7, just like you said, right? And you laid it out perfectly. You move with Miles Price. Nobody runs with them, so it's zone, right? Somebody's got to help Miles Price up here. It's too cluttered at the top of the field, so you're not going to go there. It was obvious you're going to come down to the bottom. The thing that really grinds my gears in terms of this, and it sounds so old white dad saying that, Lyle. Please tell me to never say that again. Anyway, Behren knows where he's going from the jump here. Because look at that corner playing what, 10 yards off? Maybe 9, right?
Yeah.
The problem I have with this is not Behren, it's Loic. Why are you stopping before the chains?
Yes.
Why are you stopping before the chains, dude? Like, I get the throw's not great. Let's call it that. Like, the throw from Behren's not great. But again, why are you stopping a good whole yard and a half before the chains? That's counterproductive, right? In that situation, at least get to the chains. At least that's what I'm thinking right there, Lyle. Correct me if I'm wrong, for sure.
Nah, and like that's the thing that like I get so mad. I try to when we talk about it, I get so pissed. Like this is not like a game one. Like this is stuff that goes on all year. And then Kittley comes back and they're like, man, Kittley, man, he's horrible. The boy is wide open. The boy has 10-yard cushion and he comes back before this. That's being a student of the game. That's being a player. That's knowing, man, the game. And like I said, it goes back and we're all, man, Kittley, nah, man, it's players have to play. I can't say that enough. We can go watch the whole year's worth of film and break it down. It's stuff like this been going on the entire year. Brother, you know that you got to get a first down. It takes you 2 more steps, 3 more steps, and you got a first down, and it's just that's something, like, for me, I'm going to be honest with you. If I'm anywhere to the end zone, if I'm 10 yards to the end zone, they give me a 5-yard route, I am running a 10-yard route to get in the end zone. I promise. And I know where I need to be. And that's just one of those things that, as he and I mean, he's been in the game a long time. But if it didn't, all that happened because, oh, how cute. Wow.
We got the possum.
He's pissed.
Yeah, he is. Sorry. I had to throw the possum in there. I knew it was coming up. By the way, I'm just setting it up for the next play. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
He is pissed.
Yeah. That looks like me. I think I tweeted it out. That's my face when my wife wants me to do anything on a weekend when there's football on. Like, I'm that pissed all the time. It's like, what's on the TV right now. I only get it a few hours a week. Let me have this. We can go to the store later. We can go to the mall later. Yeah. We let me have this.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you something. As a man that's been married for 7 years, it don't change. It's not going to get better. I just want to let you know. I don't want to tell the wifey I love her, but it's not going to change.
I know that.
She'll wait to the national championship game. Hey, by the way, I was wondering. No.
She knows better than that. At least I think. At least I
think?
hope.
Wait till she get to year 3. That's what I thought. It didn't happen. To
year three. Year 3. Fair enough. You got 3rd and 4 here, Lyle. You can see that the right tackle and right guard are pulling. You got trips, shallow side, not wide side. Here you got confusion by TCU right here. So that's feels like it was a whole game long thing. We'll play the play and then we'll dissect it after. But you hand it off to Tahj. This was one of those reads to me where I thought Behren didn't do a good job on this one. I thought he could have called out of it. But I'd love to hear your opinion, Lyle, on this as we see the possum one more time.
Well,
But it
pause
felt
it.
like he could have checked out of this.
Not necessarily. I don't like I said
Okay.
once again. You're checking the box. You got a 5-man box. You kind of got that overhang. Think what Kit was intending. You got numbers. You know what I'm saying? Anything outside zone or counter to that side, you got the numbers, and that's what we took. You know, you got 3 receivers. You got 2 people. Don't count that safety because he's 10 yards, so he's not in the play.
Hmm.
Technically, you got 3 guys that's really to me not in the play. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people in the box. You got this guy, and they're tending the block right there. If Kit has the single attached, once again, the running back is to the single side. So when he runs, he still has his eyes on that single side. I think that's one if the ball was thrown to that side. Number 2, B Mort can also read it. And once again, there's no overhang out here because everybody's in the box. You know what I'm saying? So I think
Hmm.
B Mort could have pulled it, probably ran for a touchdown. I got to watch the play. Well, they kind of see at the end, he tries to get back over here to make sure B Mort don't pull it. But, you know, with him getting out the play, now you got 5 people in the box and you got a blocker. I think what should have happened was this guy right here, it comes down to this. I think that's the tackle, 76. If what we call in football is a log, and he logs around that, right? He picks up that safety right
Lead
there.
blocker type scenario.
Yep, he's supposed to log around there. If it gets blocked down, he's supposed to log around there. And then you got one-on-one with that blocker. You got a guy coming to get that. 71 should be getting that. So it comes down to people not executing, which is this tackle, because he gets caught back there, which makes Tahj stops. If he logs it and goes around like he's supposed to, it's a great play, and he probably runs
Sure.
for a first down. So
Fair
it comes
enough.
down to guys doing what they're supposed to. But secondly, B Mort, look over here. I mean, this guy comes late, but B Mort probably could have pulled it too and ran for 10
Yeah.
yards. So you got lineman not executing, you got a quarterback that probably could have kept it, and we don't do either or.
Here we go again. Next play that kind of wanted to talk about situation here. 3rd and 8,
Mm-hmm.
midway through the second quarter. You said Nehemiah down to the bottom of the screen there. You got a tight end on the edge. And then, of course, what do we have? Trips. Got quite a few people in the box, 6 in the box right there. So you know it's going to be a quick route here, more than likely, right? Especially if they're sending something at you. Just because, again, they have more people than you do blockers, at least in theory, if this tight end goes out, right? That's really what it comes down to. Does the tight end stay in block? You have a hat for a hat. If not, okay, it's 5-on-6, and you probably got to get the ball out pretty quick. We'll run the play real quick here. You got Nehemiah going to the bottom of the screen. So back that up again. Lyle, what do you see right here as you do see the tight end go out on a route?
I think right here, like I said, most defense have a check for empty. Like usually they do the same thing because empty's so tough. And if you go, they got to have a check down. So I think right here with going empty right here, Kit knew whatever it was going to be. Looks like cover 6 right here. They got a guy pressed. Looks like cover 6. It could be pressed. It could be pressed. It could be cover 1 too. I can't see if there's a safety over the top. It might be man because that linebacker out here is on the running back, so it might be man.
Yeah, there's a safety right here at the back of the tight end. So, or not the tight end, the double T. So actually, I think it's cover 1.
Yeah. Okay, so cover 1 pressed up. And like I said, I think Kittley's just going for the matchups at that point. You know you're going to throw. It comes to best matchup. And like I said, I think it's a great call. Honestly, if I'm B Mort, I got the best dude or one of the best dudes on our team versus a linebacker on 57. That's where I'm personally looking. But like I said, it's just matchups right there. I guess he liked the matchup with those safeties being those corners and safeties or nickel, whatever that is, 15 yards backpedaling. And it's a great play, great throw. But I think he's just at this point when you go cover 1, like kind of like the Cowboys game, everybody was mad at the last play. You look for matchups when it's all man, try to throw it to your best player. And I think right there was his progression. It's inside, or I think it was vert, and then that out.
Yeah, it's a clear out route, isn't
Yeah,
it? It's just a clear out
I'm
route
guessing.
for Xavier White.
I'm guessing. I think you're right, but whatever Kit got,
Yeah,
going, I think that's the play. But I also think he could have took advantage of the running back down here too. It works out, but like I
sure.
said, I don't know if that's Tahj down there, but I throw Tahj and let 57 go against Tahj in coverage. Or is that Nehemiah?
That's Nehemiah down there at the bottom.
Still.
Yeah. So, like, for me, again, you know much better than me, Lyle. But what I see on here, it looks like at the top of the screen right there where it's press, right here for anybody watching. That looks like it's just a go route, right? Almost in a clear type of way, clearing type of way, so you can get this sideline if you need it. This guy looks like he's running a go as well. Maybe he's actually trying to run a post, but he's trying to get to a certain depth. And before he can get to that depth, Xavier White already wins on the route. But it looks like they're trying to clear out. And also the thing that stands out too to me, look what Xavier White does. Where is he? He's past the freaking chains. Thank you. Die. You keep the drive moving.
Hey,
right?
and you got to give credit to that outside guy, man. Sometimes it's tough, man. Like that's people don't understand. You don't get off that press, it messes up that whole play. So
100%.
that was a big play by him, and good throw, good play.
Yeah, because if he doesn't win that route right there or that progression, I mean, like it's just chaos over there, and you got 6 bodies, right? And Xavier, and you got 3 routes out of the way just because there's so much congestion right there. What do we have again, Lyle? You'll never guess.
Got the trippers.
Yeah, we call it trips. Again, 6-man box, I would say, maybe 5 technically. I guess technically 5. I would probably say 6, but Lyle, you think this guy's in the box right here?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say 6, but that's the guy definitely you're reading. And once again, that's why the running back is to his side. So B Mort can see what that man's doing. You know what I'm saying? Usually they put the running back to that side so that they can read that overhang. And like I said, no overhang up top. You know, obviously they think something of my man up there at the single because every time he's single, they get a safety over the top.
Yeah. And there's a reason for it too.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, Lyle, this might be my favorite play call that Kittley has had maybe all year. I'm dead serious. This play is phenomenal. So go through the progression. Here we go. We move somebody in motion. That's Miles Price. So for people that are looking at the screen, obviously got 5 offensive linemen. Tahj in the backfield. Looks like you got Loic and then Bradley. Bradley closest to the boundary here with Loic. And then at the top of the screen, you got Koyakin. Lyle already brought it up. Got 2 guys here, right? They're respecting the hell out of Koyakin. Why I love this route. Watch Miles Price, the guy in motion. Look what he does. He literally clears them out, both of them. Like, that's designed right there. You can tell when they practice the play, Lyle. And again, correct me if I'm wrong in any way here. I can almost guarantee it. The wide receiver coach, Juice, Kittley, they tell the person going in motion right there, run directly at your opposing defender in terms of whoever is guarding Coy and almost create a natural pick and just go after.
Yeah, he's aiming for his outside shoulder.
Yep.
You know, he wants to bump his outside shoulder and then keep it moving.
And then he does it. You can't run through people. You just can't do it. And then Coy, I don't know if it's actually a first down, but I love the play design.
Nah, it's a great play design. But like I said, that's one of those things too. If he goes and hits that shoulder like he's supposed to, I know for a fact he's supposed to hit that shoulder. If he gets to that shoulder, it works. But if he gets to that shoulder like he's supposed to, it might be a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, and it's just the little stuff that, and like I said, I just say that's a great play call, great job of them. But for people to understand, it's one small thing that make a huge difference. Like him hitting that outside shoulder, yes, we got a first down, but him hitting that outside shoulder makes it a 30-yard gain instead of a 9-yard gain.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like he goes through them 2 crash. There's no one there. He's running up but once again, it works out. But if it didn't work out, I could hear people, oh, man, Kittley. But old buddy didn't do what he was supposed to do on the play. So you got to understand as coaches, like people have to do what you're asking them to do, and people have to make plays. You know, and like I said, it works out. But
you're saying Price should have made contact here, just a little bit, like a natural kind of contact, not something that would have been thrown a flag.
Yeah, if you aim for his outside shoulder, he has to run through you. Then all 3 of y'all hit each other, and he's not able to go over the top. But what happens is instead of him getting that outside shoulder, he aims for that inside shoulder. All old buddy does is go around and makes that tackle. And so like I said, is it a first down? Is it a great play? Heck yeah. But if he bumps him, it's probably a very, very big play.
One more time, go through it. And again, I'm not exaggerating here. This may be, again, I understand it's a 3rd and 8 call. You didn't score a touchdown on it or anything, but like, this is a phenomenal play call. Like, for the sheer fact of this, the most reliable guy you have in terms of hands on your team is Coy Aiken. Who the hell are you designing this play for? Coy Aiken. And you need him on 3rd and 8. And again, shout out to Miles Price, what he does here. Again, Lyle laid it out. It's not perfect, but it's effective. And that's what you need sometimes. And again, I love the motion aspect of it because you see 28 right here. He's looking. There's no way he can read what Behren Morton's doing. All he's focused on is Miles Price, which is fine, right? But the thing is look how close these corners are right now to each other. That's the big thing. How are you going to do anything? Because, yes, this corner is looking at Coy Aiken, but he's about to have Miles Price go across his face. And then, boom. Again, doesn't quite hit him, but there's enough there. But the big thing for me, outside of what Miles Price did here, look at the anticipation by Behren Morton. This ball's out.
Yeah.
That ball's out, right, with some zip on it. You can't flutter this ball out there. You got to get that thing in there. And he does right on the numbers to Coy Aiken, right? Right on there. Boom. Coy Aiken can secure the football, lower his shoulder, and I'm not sure he actually got to the 39, but damn it, they gave it to him. And
that's all that matters, brother.
At the end of the day. I want to go through one more play. Let me see if I can find it here. Again, I know we've been talking quite a bit about things and trips and everything. I believe this is the play here. Well, as we get an ad, so that's great. I guess DoorDash gets some free advertisement here on the podcast, Lyle. But
I'm mad at that.
I want to go back to this play, and I mean, it's the big chunk play of the game, right? We'll play through here. It's going to be this phenomenal job here. 2nd and 1. You're on your own 44. What are you in again, Lyle?
Trips.
I'm telling you, dude, it stood out so much. I even second guessed myself. I was like, has he been doing this all season? And I went back and I watched sped it up. But I watched Baylor, the K-State game. And I was like, he used trips, but he didn't use it like this. I'm telling you, it felt like every successful play Texas Tech had against TCU was in trips. It felt like it, or at least started in trips, and then you had a guy go in motion, whatever it may be, right? But this play, again, what you got here? You got, I guess you could technically say 7 in the box if you really wanted to, but probably actually closer to 6.
I would say 5, honestly, and then you're reading the 2 overhangs, which would be that guy right there, and then the cornerback up top would be your.
So you're reading this guy right here?
No, down.
Right here.
Yes, sir. Him.
Gotcha.
And then the other side guy you would kind of read.
I didn't even realize he was a corner. Thought he was a linebacker. That's a big.
No, he is. But I'm just saying that's the dude. That's your.
Oh, I got you. That's gonna squeeze in here, right? Yeah.
And same with up top. Those are your 2. So if they ain't squeezing in, it's 5. If they squeeze in, then it's 7. Yes, sir.
And then you got Brooks actually behind Behren in this one, pistol formation. And then you've got Xavier White, Dre, Coy Aiken, Baylor Cup right here running. And you got a couple of guys trying to spring free from left to right, and Jacoby Jackson, and then you got Baylor Cup there as well. Just going to play the play through, and then we can go back and analyze it a little bit more. You can tell he didn't have everything on that, Lyle, in terms of maybe his shoulder still bothering him a little bit, but he had enough to get it there, even after where the play kind of messed up a little bit right here. That's not supposed to happen. Tahj Brooks is not supposed to give Behren Morton a hug. After the play, he can give him a hug because of how good it was. But you see it. They go straight man here on this side now.
Covers
it's
zero.
Straight body for body. So you got the safety coming down, helping on Xavier White right there. Coy Aiken, obviously, on his guy. And 21 is on Dre McCray, who ends up scoring. And then you want to know how much Tahj Brooks gets respect-wise? Look at everybody else in this. That's crazy. You've got legitimately 8 guys.
And I want to say this for all you people that want to know why Kittley throws the ball. This is why, people. I know y'all don't understand. this is why he gets attention, and I know he makes plays, but he's getting like these dudes are getting one-on-one majority of the game because this man right here, back here, and he's a bad dude, and we got to give him the ball. But you can see right here how much this man is 13 yards back, running full speed towards the line. Like you gotta be able to throw, man. Them dudes gotta win.
Legitimately, they got 8 guys here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys worried about Tahj.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, I know.
Like, it's insane. The crazy one is this guy. Like, I understand he's got to be the pivot just in case there's somebody out here in the flat. But it's 2nd and 1. Love the play call, by the way. 2nd and 1, you got Tahj Brooks. If you get to 3rd and 1, you know it's 4-down territory anyway. Take the damn shot, right? And he takes the damn shot. Look at Dre here in the moments we can see him. He absolutely plants his left foot and leaves 21 in the dust. And you missed it on this angle. Sorry, folks. But he runs a post here, and as soon as he plants his left leg, 21 has no shot. And Behren just puts it perfectly on the money. One more time, all the way through. That's not supposed to happen there with Tahj. He plants it, boom, gone. And then he drops it in the bucket. Maybe a little short, but you can tell Behren doesn't have all of his arm strength right now. But still, either way, that's a 50-yard throw to a spot where only his wide receiver can catch.
After he got hit by the running back. So people, change my mind and tell me it's not players. Just that's all. I want y'all to change my mind. This man ran into Tahj, turned around, threw a bomb.
Let's see. He's at his 50, bumps back. Obviously, you're right there, Lyle. Like, that's a big deal, too. Had enough calmness not to panic after that happens, right? That sometimes happens to quarterbacks. Goes back into his drop, plants, boom. Like, that, we'll wrap it up there, Lyle, in terms of Behren Morton. But, man, I thought he was phenomenal in this game. I'd love to hear from people and their thoughts. Leave us a grade for Behren Morton and his performance against TCU, A, B, C, D, or F. If you say C, D, or F, you're wrong. It's at least a B. He wasn't perfect by any stretch of the imagination. But I do want to read this as well, Lyle. There was a stat, if I can find it really fast for everybody, because this stat was absolutely crazy to me in terms of what happened in terms of Texas Tech and what they did well, right? Here is Behren Morton's, I call it spray chart. I don't think that's actually what it's called, but bear with me. Basically, where he throws on the field, right? In terms of at behind the line of scrimmage, short passes, mid-range, deep passes, whatever it may be. Lyle, he was 18 of 21 throwing to the left side of the field. 18 of 21, right? When he threw to the right side of the field, not as great, right? He still had like a completion percentage north of 65. But I wonder when teams make that switch. Behren loves throwing to his left. It's obvious, and it helps when you have a guy like Koy Aiken. Again, he was 7 of 7 on screen passes. For those that don't know, that's at or behind the line of scrimmage. Short passes, 3 for 3. That's 1 to 5 yard. Mid-range passes, he was 8 for 10, 92 yards. That's 5 to 14. Only took 1 deep shot left, missed it there. But then down the middle, he was 2 for 2. Obviously, that Dre McCray play will help. And then the other one as well, he had 2 touchdown passes deep down the middle of the field. Miles Price one in the first half, and then he had Dre McCray, one for 25 yards, and then the other one as well for Dre McCray for 44. So, again, this offense just looks vastly different with Behren Morton. And, again, I'm not trying to say that Texas Tech is going to go out and do what they did last year in terms of running the table and making a bowl game and making everybody all happy and go lucky and all that stuff, right? Like, this season has been disappointing to some degree. But at the same time, when you watch what Behren Morton did against TCU, a team that they knew he was playing, right? Like, they didn't have to prepare for Jake Strong. And he did that, Lyle, after he had not thrown in practice since the week of West Virginia. Right? He comes out, he's a baller, man. And that's what it is. And this offense is so drastically different with Behren Morton. I hope everybody enjoyed that film breakdown. Obviously, Lyle's the best in the business when it comes to this tech stuff and breaking down film and everything. Nobody else like him. when it comes to Texas Tech podcasts and everything like that in terms of knowledge and understanding and everything. So it was really fun to hear his perspective, and hopefully I didn't sound too dumb and like I learned how to play football on Madden, Lyle.
No, you sounded good, brother. Like I said, man, I was about to offer you a job here
Well,
with me,
I'd have
man.
to respectfully decline. I don't really want to move. I'm tired of moving. Yeah, it's not against you. It's just I am tired of moving. I've moved 5 times in the past 4 years. I'm done. Yeah, I'm done for a little while. Wow. Where can the people find you, my guy?
They can find me at Coach LLEONG, and you can find the man that makes this all go, the GOAT, the myth.
You can find me at RCMB323. If you haven't already, one more time, we got to do the rah-rah stuff in terms of like the video, hit that subscribe button, notification bell. Again, this isn't the last time we're going to do film breakdowns, people. Yeah, Lyle sees it. It's right there. Hit that subscribe button. It's on the screen, damn it. Do it. Please. I should say please. People don't like it when I curse, Lyle. It's just who I am. I apologize in advance for it. Not going to switch up on that front. I try not to do it as much, though. But it is what it is. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. This won't be the last film breakdown we do. We'll be doing a ton of them throughout the offseason, breaking down Tahj Brooks film, Behren Morton film, whatever it may be, looking back at Texas Tech football. But they will go into Kansas this weekend looking to pull off an upset win and have that much better of a chance to make it to a bowl game, albeit not the season they wanted. But if they can get those bowl practices, that's always a good thing for younger players. He's Lyle. I'm RC. One more time, sound like a broken record. Like the video, subscribe, hit that notification bell to stay in the know on Texas Tech football all year long right here on the fastest growing and most engaging Texas Tech community on YouTube. Of course, I'm talking about the Back to 12 podcast channel.